Welcome back to the GSTL. I am Wolf, with me is Calder, and today we are going to have an awesome match. The studio is packed just like yesterday, and we are going to see Fnatic versus MVP. I could not be more excited.
Today's going to be great, and man, I really missed those intros. The GSTL intros are always so much fun. We are finally back to basketball.
Yeah.
After we cast the Curtis the last couple of days, now we are back with the GSTL, and today is going to be great. We have a lot of awesome players. And the one player that I am really waiting for is Moon.
Yeah, I think Moon is definitely going to play today, 100%.
When I went to DreamHack, I was saying before I went there that from the Koreans, I really wanted to see how Keen is going to perform, and I wanted to see how well Moon actually would do. And then suddenly, I think like one day before the tournament starts, like, okay, newsflash guys, Moon is not coming. Like, why? Why would you do that? And now,
well, he's here. I saw him.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier. I talked to him a little bit about if he's going to attend any upcoming events and just in general a little bit. So Moon is here, and I think that we might see him play today.
You know what I want to see is Ares, man. He's been sitting over there this whole season, hasn't come out a single time, and he used to play for Wera, then he was staying in the Pro House for a while. I want to see how much this guy is prepared, how much he has improved. We're going to take a look at our team information, but yeah, I really want to see Ares, man. All right, look at the race distribution. These two teams, pretty good distribution. Look at MVP, 4-4 and 4. And of course, Dongri Gu, man, he is going to be the toughest opponent Fnatic will have to face by far.
Oh yeah, I talked to Alive earlier, and he said like, oh wow, Dongri Gu is just so good. He is so good. He was really worried a little bit. Pulled a standard joke and called himself a Chobo once again. Every single time that I talked to him, he's like, me Chobo, me Chobo.
Look at those contributions at the bottom right. You can see Dongri Gu. He got both.
It's a little bit funny that Todd is still listed as the captain here. He's currently not in Korea. He's currently in France, so he's not here. You don't know who exactly is going to take over for him. But yeah, today is going to be great, and we are not starting off with Moon. No, we are starting off today with the PvP.
Yeah, today's starting match will be a Protoss versus Protoss. Oz starting things off for Fnatic versus Finale for MVP, a player that the MVP coach really likes to send out. He really prefers to send out Finale and Tails to represent the Protoss race. You can see our win rate ranking for GSL Season 2. Symbol by far still being in the lead.
I mean, no surprise here. 9 wins and not a single loss.
Yep, and spoiler alert, he advanced yesterday in GSL Code S, beaten Seed 2-0 in the final match after losing 2-0.
I mean, I don't get this whole spoiler issue anyway, so that's something I'm always like, if you don't want to know any results, why would you listen actually to your esports broadcast? But you're like, spoiler alert, and I can see like thousands of nerds jumping to their keyboard, trying to press the mute button or anything, and without any pause or anything else, you're like, hey guys, by the way, spoiler alert, and
he's like, no! He's in there, he's like, I knew I shouldn't have watched today. Here's the thing,
you will get like 50 tweets, I hate you!
You should have given more time. Sometimes I sit over there on that bench during Code S and I tweet about the matches as they're happening, and people go, wow, spoilers. I'm like, what are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? You're on Twitter, but you're not watching? But you're like, I don't want spoilers. What are you doing?
It's so funny. I mean, we live in Korea, we work in esports, we watch the games, we're passionate about them. Of course we're going to tweet about the results in the matches. What do you expect? It's like...
Well, it's just so weird to me that someone would be on the computer reading Twitter but not watching the match and then be concerned about spoilers.
Do you remember when people actually complain about that major esports news websites would, as a headline, have the result of a big final? I'm like, of course they will. That's their job.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that we see sites like Team Liquid switching it up now. But here is Team Fnatic coming out with their I Am European song. The team is actually originating in Europe. Very strong team in Counter-Strike, especially other first-person shooters as well, and obviously very strong in StarCraft 2. Really surprising people, actually, with the results so far in the Team League.
They are doing really well here, and they had a couple of players that really stepped it up. We talked about Moon earlier already a little bit, and he is just one of those players that made a huge splash in the GSTL.
Well, let's take a look at their roster. We already know all their players, but I want to see them nicely graphically displayed on screen, broken down by races.
Let's start with the Fnatic team. Fnatic raid call, starting off with their Protoss players. We have Todd and Nighten. They're not here today. Oz is starting things off, and of course Ares.
Yep, and here are our Terrans, Alive and Rain. Very similar styles, in fact, originating from both TSL players. They both moved on from TSL, but former TSL players.
Bial, Departure, and Moon, especially Moon, a very strong Zerg player. But we also saw Bial with a very nice performance in one of the first GSTL matches that Fnatic had to play. I still remember Nesty sitting there thinking, Bial shit.
Yeah, I remember that. Actually, when you said that I actually died, I've been resurrected, but I actually died at that moment.
And here they are, the Fnatic bench, and of course, Kwani. I can actually see the back of your head to the left side. Look at that.
Yeah?
Your hair is like...
I got out of the shot.
She did a good job today.
Ah, she did. She really did, man. Did, I mean, Kwani, I think Kwani actually did his own hair. I think Kwani, he said, no, thank you.
Kwani's looking really sexy. What are you doing?
I just had to do it, man.
I'm on camera, yay!
All right, over here, of course, is our MVP team. Great roster. You know, they kind of shaved off a lot of their players for their Team League roster. They have a ton of B-teamers, though.
What is that? Their song is ludicrous. How cool is that?
Yeah, and it's called MVP, man. It's a pretty smart choice, I would say. Sounds really good. Now, like I said, this is their roster, but they have two houses. The MVP team actually heads the Pro-Ass house as well, if I'm not mistaken. At least they used to. And they have so many players that they can kind of pull from. They have this talent pool that's out there. And sometimes you see them kind of pull a player out, like Galaxy, for example, bring him onto the team, test him out, see if he's really good or not, then keep him. I remember Galaxy was actually in talks with FXO a long time ago, trying to figure out where he wanted to go. Looks like he ended up with MVP, and he's the only player today wearing a blue shirt. Look at that.
Yeah, the thing is that today we have Keen for once in white, not in that, what's the color called?
Yeah, the green one. I'm so disappointed.
It's not really green.
It's not really green. It's like brownish green.
Yeah.
It's army color. I don't know.
Yeah, army color is basically what it is.
He looks so much more handsome in that one, I think.
He looks completely different. He might have got another haircut. I don't know.
Yeah, something's up. Well, here's our breakdown of the players. Starting out with our Zergs. Dongregu, of course, captain. He's got that cap thing at the top there. Sniper and Monster.
Really strong Zerg
Yeah,
lineup.
I mean, absolutely. Keen, SC, Noble S, and Dream making up the Terrans. And our Protosses, we've got Lure, Finale, and Vampire. No Tails, interestingly enough. One of their players they used in the semifinals last season, he had a crazy haircut that day, I remember. I didn't hear that the Tails was not on the roster, so this is really interesting to me. We've already seen MVP once this season, but I didn't pick up on that now until now. Huh.
Well, here we go. Another shot at the MVP bench, and I'm really excited to see how they are doing today, especially how the Zergs will perform. I want to see Keen play. I talked earlier about the two players that I wanted to see at DreamHack. I would actually like to see them face each other. Keen against Moon would be a really good match.
I want to see SC, man. I've been a fan of him for so long. I really, really enjoy his playstyle, and I mean, I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. 1,000,001 times is fine. He has, you know, that collapsible lung problem, and he still just does so well. I can't even believe it when I see him play in that booth, and I'm looking forward to him coming out. But I think we're about to take a look at our starting players. We already mentioned them, but we're going to look at their pretty faces. Oz, definitely one of the most handsome pro gamers in all of pro gaming history, no matter what game you're talking about, StarCraft 2, StarCraft 1, doesn't matter. We're hovering around the studio. You can see the crowd there.
It was really funny earlier when I asked Elive about the starting players and just talked to him a little bit. Here we have a shot of Oz. But Koreans, we'd said that in the past, but maybe you're new to the GSL and to Korean broadcast, so we say it again. Koreans actually cannot pronounce F. Well, they kind of can, but they don't have the sound. Exactly, the sound doesn't really exist in their language, so they usually replace it with a P. And Oz was talking, not Oz, Elive was talking. Well, I was talking to him about the players, and he was saying Pinali, and I was like, what the hell is he talking about? And I suddenly remembered, oh yeah, I'm back in Korea. Wait a second, yeah, of course they're talking about Pinali, but it's just so You have to get used to it again. I've been in Europe for like 2.5 weeks right now and away from Korea. So now when I came back, I have to get used to a lot of things at once again.
Yep. Well, that was Haksu, of course. And on the right side here, we have Finale. And he has played GSTL 5 times.
He has a little bit of this mushroom hairstyle going on, doesn't he?
I see what you're saying. I like his hairstyle really grabs onto his face. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It grabs on his face.
Yeah, I know.
It fits his face really well. Like, he looks so good.
No, the reason why I didn't say anything right now is when you said that, there was this random insult that children would use in school, but it doesn't apply here, but just because of the word just triggered the memory in my head. You know, like when you say, oh yeah, he's got a face only a mother can love. You know,
yeah,
but it does not refer to him,
No,
so
of course.
that's why I didn't say it.
Oh, he winked. They asked him to wink and he did it. They said to do it in the chat. I was reading it and he did it. That's actually really funny.
Yeah, but the thought just popped in my head and I couldn't say it, so I was like, okay, I better shut up now.
Well, at this point, we are going to begin our first map. We didn't mention it yet. It's going to be Whirlwind, so we're getting our big map out of the way. Tough luck for Zerg players who might want to use this map because it's gone already. And with Protoss versus Protoss on this map, we oftentimes see fast expands. We have seen Phoenix builds on this map, but fast expands are usually the type.
Nah, we'll do that later. Tell him.
What do you want me to tell him? He's telling me to type in chat. I don't know. I don't even know what that says.
Me neither, but maybe he doesn't.
I don't know. We're countdown starting. I don't even think he got to see what you said.
No, he didn't.
All right, it doesn't matter. We are jumping into game 1 between Fnatic and MVP. Oz against Finale here at the GSTL with Caldor and Wolf.
Lights go out, it's finally going down. Feel it in the air, it's gonna leave you.
Go dancing in the night till the whole is calling you. Gotta keep up the fight.
It is time to party, ladies and gentlemen. We have the GSTL powered by Hot 6, and this is our first map. This is the opening game in the team match between MVP and Fnatic. To the top left in the red, we have our Fnatic player. It is the one and only
Fnatic Radical Order!
Oz with his stellar record against Protoss. Lately, I don't want to say he struggled against Protoss players.
Well, he's
but
had a hard time for sure.
exactly. He had like this amazing win ratio for a long time, and then lately he just had a lot more problems in the mirror matchup. He's facing an MVP player. To the bottom right of the map, in the blue, we have his Protoss opponent. This is
MVP Finale!
Yeah, you're right. He has been struggling a little bit recently, especially it seemed to start with his bold statement during that MSI tournament where he said that if anyone, he said PvP is not luck, and if anyone thinks otherwise, I want to PvP him.
The thing is that Oz is now facing a Protoss player who really struggles in this matchup. Finale has a 30% win ratio against Protoss. He only has 10 games played in competitive, on a high-level competitive tournament level. But right now we have him lose against Puzzle. He lost against Huang Xing. He lost against Seed as well. So the last 4 to 5 games that he actually played in this matchup did not go well for him. And today he will have to make sure that he at least gets one win off if MVP wants to start with a win into this matchup.
You're right. Oz is going gas before core, second gas before core, that is. So really quick gas, whereas his opponent will likely gas soon but has not yet. Finale playing the more standard build, and there it is after core. But Oz is going to have faster tech as a result. Depends on what sort of builds they both want to do, but Oz actually gets ahead in almost every way. On a map like this, at cross positions in PvP, with that faster gas, he just gets, he gets faster Robo or Twilight Council or Stargate, whatever he wants. I mean, the only thing that's delayed is Warp Gate research.
Finale, on the other hand, he has a lot of pressure onto him, of course, as well. It's not only the openings that matter here, especially in the GSTL, it's also nerves and the pressure that you have, because you're not only fighting for yourself, but you're fighting for your team. To some people, that is really a confidence booster, and they are able to just shine, whereas in the individual league, they struggle a little bit. But it's just, especially in the later games, it's a lot of pressure that I have to deal with as well.
Yeah, certainly so. Both players making a sentry, interestingly enough, just to be safe. And in fact, Oz has not seen anything of his opponent. His Zealot coming down the ramp right now is going to be the first thing that he scouts with. And otherwise, he's seen literally nothing. So it makes sense for him to make that sentry. Twilight Council versus Stargate, yeah.
Exactly. Stargate against Twilight Council. We will see a few Phoenixes here. And this is a build that is getting more and more popular.
If you go Blink straight away with the Twilight Council, it can be really effective against Stargate play for obvious reasons. It helps you shut down the Stargate really, really well. But on a map like this, Stargate play is actually so good. You can control the map with it. You can harass very easily. You can use the Phoenixes defensively. One of the fastest units in the entire game. So we'll see how this plays out.
Is it actually the fastest unit? I'm currently thinking about it. I don't know exactly if it is.
Speedlings are faster, actually, on creep.
Yeah, Speedlings and creep are probably faster. Yeah, exactly. But Phoenixes are pretty good.
Phoenixes and Hellions may have the same movement speed now I think about it, actually.
And there's the Dark Shrine for Oz.
Oh.
Immediately, he's not going for Blink.
Yeah.
And this is actually like really interesting now, as we have his opponent adding the Robo.
This is not going to be, I feel, what Finale expects, because he thinks his opponent's probably better than him, especially given his win rate. And so this is a pretty bold move by Oz. He'll likely expand with this. He's making his own defensive Robo, but MVP Finale is making his Robo as well, and it's further ahead, and he will likely have an Observer out. However, if he sends it straight across the map, he can still lose a ton of units.
The main question is, what exactly is he going to do with the first Observer that he's going to Chrono Boost? Because as soon as the Observer is in his opponent's main base and he spots that there is a Dark Shrine, the DTs will already be about to enter his base. So if he has to Chrono Boost a second Observer, he will lose a lot of time where the DT can just roam freely and kill everything in his main base, take down a lot of probes. So Oz can definitely make this work. And even
but
if
he's
they're
seeing
spotted,
the Dark Shrine now, and so now he's just going to keep the Observer at home.
Yeah, he spotted it.
This is tough news for Oz. He's going to have to make his Nexus ASAP. Now that he knows the Phoenix has been spotted, will he even commit to this? That's the question. I may have even wanted to cancel that Shrine after this. I mean, he's got not only a wall with hold position, but he's got the Observer there. That DT is going to do less than nothing.
But he warps in only one. He decides to warp in only one DT, not like 2, 3, or even more of them. And goes straight for Blink as well, so Oz already knows that everything that he does is going to be scanned. But he still has to check. I mean, he does not really know if there's a robotic, so as long as he has no
he's
idea...
actually going to get by here. He's going to be able to... Well, nope.
But he did, up to this point, he did not really know if there was robotics, if there was an Observer. So sending one DT in definitely worth it.
Yeah, worth it. He lost... He's put so much gas into the Shrine that could be used later. And like you said, a little bit of scouting information there. That's going to let him know that, okay, my opponent has gone Phoenixes, yeah, but he's still transitioning into Robo. And he's going to continue that Blink research, adding additional gates right now. His opponent's got a Nexus going up. And what's going to happen here is Oz will have Blink for a while, but will he really be able to use it on a map of this size? While his opponent is teching getting those Immortals out and will probably add a robotic support base soon. It's kind of scary for Oz because his opponent's going to be in a better tech situation.
Well, we have a little bit of a quiet phase in this game right now. I want to mention one more thing. If you are... Phoenix is actually getting a little bit overconfident here. Need to be really careful, and Oz nearly able to pick one of them off. But yeah, what I was about to mention is, if you guys are actually watching this at home right now and you're watching it live and you want to use IRC and you want to talk to people about the games, you can always join #GSL on IRC. There are a lot of people in there, and you can just talk about the games, talk about how the two teams are doing, what kind of play you would expect next.
Yeah.
So just have a look at this. If you're an IRC user or want to use Web IRC, you can just go to Google and you look for Web IRC. You can get one of those Java clients, and then #GSL is the channel where you have to be.
Make sure you join the QuakeNet server as well.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, oh, look at this. This is pretty good for Oz, picking off that Observer. And in fact, that is the only Observer that Finale has out right now. So he's going to have to make another one as soon as that Immortal is done if he wants to deal with the DTs. And yeah, he's probably not even going to... Oh, wow, gets a Phoenix as well. He's probably not going to make any DTs, but the threat of the DTs will make him have an Observer coming out right now, which slows down his first Colossus very significantly. I think Oz with this pressure.
Oh, nice! He's blinking across the map, trying to get in here, and we have double Gravity Beam. But Oz is moving up at the natural. He has an Archon in to take down every single force field that they might actually be there. Oh wow, this is bad news for Finale. He tries to make this work. There are so many Zealots though, and he has to pull his probes as well, but the Archon is still alive. He does a ton of damage here. dies in the end, but Finale is dropping down in supply quite significantly.
Yeah, quite significantly indeed. The Zealots for Oz remaining alive a little bit longer. He's picking off the Stalkers. Finale will hold, but Oz with a great attack here. I don't think I've ever seen someone transition out of DTs so well. I mean, part of the problem for Finale is that he went Phoenixes, which aren't that used to holding pushes like this, but in the end, that was actually really nicely done, and he saw the robotics timing. We're going to see 2 additional Archons here made by DTs.
Big problem for Finale is that he might be on the same overall supply as his opponent, but his economy is substantially weakened. He's down to only 37 workers against 50, so Oz has the much better income. And if he can really make, well, if he can get a little bit more time in, then his army will just be so much bigger than MVP.
I think Oz, what he needs to do now, what he will likely do after he loses a few of these probes, is to make a second Robo so he can catch up in Colossus count. This is not going to be an engagement that Oz can win. He needs to get out of here. He's actually going to try to fight it, but I mean, his opponent has a much better army. Oz is actually really committing. This may be a mistake. He's going to target down the Colossus, though.
Not a lot of micro at Finale. Finally, he tries to retreat, but as you can see, the army of Oz is actually dying here. He needs more time. This attack was not a smart move.
Well, you know, he got one of the Immortals, and he almost got the Colossus, so the idea was there, yeah, my opponent's going to have more Immortals than me. He's going to have the better Colossus count, so maybe if I can eliminate both of those, this will be an okay trade because we're cross-map, and I have the better economy, and I know it. But yeah, I agree. In the end, it was not a good attack for him. It didn't work out like he planned. He did get one Immortal. He will save his Stalker, but this counterattack is going to be quite fierce.
The counterattack is something he has to be really worried about. Another round of warp-ins to the left. Now here we have them, the additional Zealots and Stalkers, trying to join force with the main army. And Fnatic Oz, on the other hand, he is down in army supply. He has half the army supply of his opponent. Really, really bad news for Oz suddenly. He's in a tough spot. He has a Colossus. The Colossus is just moving down the ramp right now, trying to take down these Zealots. But this is going to be a really, really big problem for us.
Yeah, the Colossus micro, though, for Finale was a little bit weak, but now he's targeting down the Colossus of Oz with his Immortal, but the Immortal does fall, and the probes are pushing this back. Oz may hold. It's looking pretty tough, though. I mean,
too many Stalkers.
Yeah, the Phoenix is going to take out the Colossus as well, and that is going to be it. Even without Blink, he has enough.
Oz overcommitting a little bit too much to the first attack, and then Finale takes the chance, the opportunity that he's been offered. He moves out as soon as he takes down his opponent's small army. Really well played by Finale. And Oz, he looked really good here. He had the Archons, he was a little bit behind in his Colossus tech, but if he just waits and falls back in his economy, gets the double Robo, he would have been in a much better spot. Like this MVP Finale is offered a chance, and he takes it.
He absolutely did. He took that counterattack chance. He knew he had the better army, went for it. Well played by both players, but in the end, Finale, too much for Oz, and MVP going to take a very important lead as Oz is a really strong player, one of the critical players on Fnatic, going down early here, and that's the risk you take sending someone like this out first.
And this is also how we can see that risk matchup is really, I don't want to call it fragile, but a small decision can really matter here. Oz trying to make it work with the second attack, trying to kill his opponent, and just look at Finale. He's really happy. He's like, wow, that shouldn't have happened, but awesome.
Yeah, looked really good.
With the first attack, Oz killed so many probes. His opponent was so far behind in income, but he had the better army, and Oz, instead of just falling back and defending and capitalizing on the lead that he had, he tries to make it work, but the second attack was not good enough, not strong enough. The unit composition, not what he needed.
Oh wow, she got a free t-shirt. That is,
for every win, I think.
Yeah, that's a pretty good thing to have happen to you. Look at how excited she is.
She's really happy, isn't she?
She's really happy, man. I forgot who I got when I came to the studio once for one of my first few times when I first came to Korea. I got an MVP shirt as well. Forgot who gave it to me though. That's
the most important part.
I think it was Keen, but I just don't remember.
You don't remember if you got a shirt by Keen?
It was a year ago, over a year ago now, I think. It was a while ago. I still have it. It's actually has not been opened. Kept it in its packaging.
It's probably too small.
No, maybe. I don't know.
You look at it and like it's XS Korean size. I can't wear that.
Well, I don't know, but it's still there. I got a Slayer shirt. I remember when I first came as well. Everyone was just giving me stuff. I was like, well, thank you, guys. I got a Faux You jacket. There's not very many of those left.
Huh?
Faux You jackets.
Yeah. I think so.
I'm like, let me just brag for a second, guys. I'm like, also, I'm really happy, and I work in a great field, and I get to hang out with this guy every day. I don't know. I can wake up late every morning. It's pretty good. You guys are like staying up late and you have to wake up early tomorrow? Oh.
I stayed up late yesterday. It was not worth it.
Oh, I saw your message actually when I woke up in the morning on Skype. Did you lose a hardcore character last night? Is that what happened?
No! Germany lost to Italy. I'm like, what?
Oh, of course.
Why?
I actually totally forgot about that match, man. I didn't watch it.
Did you lose a hardcore character? I don't care about losing a hardcore character. I was watching
What
the
was
match.
the final score?
2-0.
Oh, wow.
This was actually the first time where I really have to admit that Italy played better. I don't like the Italian football team, I'm sorry. But let's focus back on StarCraft 2 because we have the second player. And it is Alive.
Man, Alive, you know, he dyed his hair a while ago to get that Fnatic color, but he still looks good even though it's starting to fade.
And before I get too much hate mails because of what I just said, I want to just rephrase this. I love Italy. I just hate the Italian football team. I'm sorry, guys, but you build up a reputation that I really can't live with. So it's just like, you know, in football as well, Germany is we are supposed to hate the Netherlands, but we are still neighbors and good friends, and it's a little bit the same with Italy. But yesterday, I have to say, Italy played better. I'm a little bit disappointed. I really wanted the young German team to do well, but apparently this time
it's not their time, I guess. Well, that's fine. There's always next time.
Yeah, kind of. But I was disappointed.
I know how you feel after the World Cup.
Oh, it was 2-1. It was 2-1, not 2-0. After the 2-0, it was basically okay. Oh my God, this is over. It was 2-1. Yeah.
Oh wow. Keller lost his mind after that loss.
Don't get me started.
Well, we still have the map choice for Alive.
Still prepared, you know. I went to the shop after the cast of Code S and I bought some beers. I bought like crackers and everything. And I was sitting there and I was like, let's do this. And the first 20-25 minutes, wow, we just completely pushed them back into their half, and we played so well. And suddenly it's boom 1-0. And I'm like, whoa, what happened? That's the wrong team. What just happened? Why did that happen? I'm like, it's fine. We're still gonna win this. And then suddenly it's the same thing again. I'm like, what? But well, anyways.
5-minute break, guys. We'll find out what the map is, where Alive wants to take on Finale. So see you in 5.
Yep.